putting down, because it's super important that you take time to train yourself in this business. Always learning, never stop, showing up, all of those things, right? So let me know which one of those is your favorite. That's going to tell me who's watching this. And let's talk about setting your new teamies up for success. So there's a few systems that come into place with this. We talk about systems a lot, right? But there needs to be some type of, and you'll figure this out eventually. If you haven't figured it out yet, or you haven't realized, man, I don't really know what I'm doing when I have someone sign up. Like, I'm just kind of squirreling. I'm just kind of letting them take the lead. I'm not really telling or showing them what they should be doing. Then we need to put a system in place. We need to figure out what should we be doing to help our new teamies, right? So first things first, we're all independent business owners. We are all independent consultants of Scentsy. We can do this on our own, living proof, right? You can be successful without a sponsor. We'll put that out there. Is it fun? No. Is it, should you be doing that? Should you not be helping? No, that's not what we do in this group. That's not what we do in Legacy Leaders. I will never tell you it's not okay to help your teamies, okay? So, first things first, we have to figure out why they're joining, right? So everyone comes into Scentsy. Most of the time it's, I want to get paid back on my purchases, or I just want to do this for fun, or whatever it may be. There's going to be kidnappers. That means that they are just joining for the kit and they're going to run and they're never going to do anything again. We have people very rarely come in and say, I want to do big things with this business. For me, that happens very rarely, but obviously that why can change. But when people are coming in, we need to figure out, what do you want to do? Now, even as a hobbyist or someone who says they just want to get paid off their purchases, anyone that joins with me, there is no misunderstanding that there will still be a launch party, okay? Whether they want to do this as a business or not. Why? Because one, it's usually, I can't remember last time when someone signed up with me with a full $99 kit, because I always have a discounted join kit available with the host exclusive kit. So I am kind of gifting them that opportunity to join Scentsy for less. In turn, I do tell them, we're going to do a launch party for you. And if they're kind of hesitant, I still say, or I still tell them, in the end, one, it's going to be a great way to announce that you're a consultant, right? Your friends are going to know that they can come to you. Even if you're a hobbyist, they're going to know that you are a Scentsy girl now. They can get their stuff from you. And two, it's going to reward you in the long run, the new consultant, because you're going to get more free and half off items, because you're going to double dip as the consultant and as the host. Okay, and so even as a hobbyist, that's going to be teaching them a few things right off the bat. One, we don't ever share just our website. We always share a party link. It's going to tell them that they should always be letting people know that they're the consultant, even if they're not trying to build a team or make this a business. And then those things change. Why? Because they start their party, they see how successful they are, they see how fun it is, they actually enjoy helping people out and their friends and family. Their friends and family in turn want to host parties. And it's just kind of a snowball effect, right? So first things first, you always have a launch party. Always. Okay? In that, though, we still need to know what their goal is. What do they want to do with this business? Let's make a goal together. Again, what I do with my new people, I tell them your first goal is shooting star. That's what we're going to reach for. I don't think I've ever had someone tell me, I don't really want a discount. I don't really want the shooting star kit. Why? Because it's an amazing deal. You get all of these products for a fraction of the price, and you get paid off of it, and you get PRV, and it helps you to your next goal. Like, it's a no-brainer. Let's be real honest there. So I always tell them, first goal, 500, okay? Even if they're a hobbyist, in turn, this is going to help them with free and half off product that they can either gift, keep for themselves, whatever it may be. Because if they're signing up, they probably most likely already love the products, right? So they want those for free. Why not? Okay? And then once you have that goal in mind and you are both agreeing on what's going to happen, you're going to support them in reaching that goal. Okay, so some of the things that I do is I send them a new consultant checklist. I have shared that here many times. And it's something that I have built over the few years, seeing a lot of other SSDs, what they share, what I have found to be important, what I have found that people miss or skip over unless I tell them specifically to do it. And I tell them, this is what you need to go by. They have to be proactive in going through those things. And some people will come back to me and they say, oh, well, how do you set up a party link? Okay, we'll go back to that first email I sent you in your welcome email. There's a new consultant launch. It tells you step by step exactly how to do it. Now, in the long run, that's going to help me, right? Because I've already pre-recorded that. I've already have the list set out for them to go through. And all of this has taken time. So let's make sure this isn't done overnight. But I have set them up for success by telling them step by step everything they need to do. This is, and some people may not agree with this, that's okay. This is going to teach them to be an independent consultant of Scentsy. Why? Because they're doing it independently. I do not need to be on Messenger telling them, you need to go to orders, you need to go to new, you need to go to create party, you need to put their name in, you need to fill that out. Nope. They can watch the video and they can see how to do it and they can say, wow, I did this on my own, I figured it out. I bet they'll never have another question about setting up a party. Okay? So I'm supporting them in the way of having everything laid out on how they need to do. It is up to them to use those resources, okay? And then once they've accomplished that first goal, and it's up to you whether you support them in their launch party, if they need help. I add them to my mock party. I have them do a few other things to get like the background stuff set up. Everyone is different in how they're going to run their business, okay? Everyone. And that's the other thing. Sylvia says she's going to work on her videos next week. I'm always working on those. Always changing my new consultant launch. I just added a scent of the month and warmer of the month training to my new consultant launch because that is something huge that new consultants need to learn about. That's a huge part for us, right? And I just 4 years in now have added that, okay? So just keep in mind that it's never going to be like done. Things are always evolving. Things are always changing. I'm always taking something out, adding something in, all of that stuff, okay? Yes, you are giving them the resources to be successful, but it is up to them to use those resources to be successful, okay? So then once they've accomplished that first goal, 500, right? Then we're going to go on to the next goal. So the next goal would be what? Sensational start. And that is a 70-day process. That is very long. Now, a few things that I help with that. One is the new consultant new consultant launch. Everything on that should be completed in their 70 days. And it says that at the top. Okay? The other thing is, guys, they get a step-by-step on what to do in their workstation. Scentsy literally walks them through it. So I shared what's on their workstation not too long ago on the First Things First checklist. So if they're coming to you asking you those questions, you as a leader need to know what's on there so you can say, oh, girl, that's on your First Things First checklist. Go check your workstation. Okay? Because if you're sitting back and you're sponsoring people and you're doing texting every single day, and this is, again, how I do it. If you're texting every single day, if you're holding their hand and walking them through every little thing over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to get exhausted on sponsoring people because that is exhausting. Okay? If you're holding someone's hand, if you're sponsoring 2, 3, 5 people a month, could you do that for 5 people a month? No. No, not mentally stable. No. Right? So we're setting them up for success. We're setting up these systems to help us also in the long run, right? So then I can say, here's a document. It has everything you need. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm always here, right? But I also tell them, like, here are my business hours. Here's the order of what you check in and go through. Setting those expectations for people, okay? So then they go on for their next goal. Awesome. The flip side of all of that is, and I've shared this before too, I also have a checklist for people on my side. Some of the things on this list are to send them a welcome email, to add them to my frontline sheet, to add them to the team page, to make sure I've done their welcome post once they accept the invite. I put their shooting star and their 7. Duke, come here. put their shooting star and their sensational start date, which is the 70th day, can be found in the report section of your workstation. Come here. In my calendar. I don't personally recognize once they hit 1 or once they hit 2. On the 70th day, right? Because we're thinking big picture. On the 70th day, I'm going to know the days leading up to there, and I check before that 70th day to say, gosh, girl, you're like 500 away from level 3. You're 500 PRV away. Okay? Those dates on my calendar are going to let me know I need to check in with them, see where they are, but I don't recognize each level. I recognize the level that they get once they get it. Okay? Again, big picture. If you have 5 people in a month that you've sponsored, you want to make this easy for you. If you have 5 people in a month that you've sponsored and you're shouting someone out for every little thing they do, you're not going to probably want to sponsor anybody. All right, so we're making it easier for us. I mailed them a welcome packet. I confirm that they have announced on social media. I know that seems like a no-brainer, but if they haven't announced they're a Scentsy consultant within like 3 or 4 days, even if they've already had their launch party, I send them a reminder and that's it. That's all I can do. I can't make people do that, right? But I do go in and check that you're using social media for your new business. I confirm that they've scheduled their launch party, that they go live with their starter kit. I go over the review, the host rewards and the party perpetual reward. I make sure I invite them to any scheduled meetings on my team pages, and I send videos on how to close a party. I don't put that in my new consultant launch because I don't want to overwhelm them. That's the other thing. There's a lot in this business. I have to be super pick and choose about what I put on a list to send to someone who's brand new. It needs to be the most important things in their business. Okay? How to close a party, that's going to eventually come up, right? They're going to say, oh, well, how do I do this? I have a video for that, right? And my next goal is to eventually have a playlist on YouTube so I can have them go through it on their own. I'm just not there yet, okay? And then I have a few other things that aren't as important as in those 14 days. How we get paid, news tab, shipping charges, all these other things that I want to make sure that I go over with these people as a new consultant, okay? Some of these things can be found in the workstation, but some of them I think are super important just to make sure to say, hey, have you looked over the shipping charges, to make sure that you can like share with your customers what they're going to be paying, right? Again, not a huge important thing, but it is something that I go over with them because we do have some little parts of our shipping that can be, what's the right word? That we can prepare them for, right? Okay. So that is what this is. Super messy right now, but it is a spreadsheet. It is not fancy. We are keeping things simple. I write their name and I literally go through and check. And as soon as they're done, I X them out. Then once I have my next 6 people, I put them on there. Okay. Once they've done these things, I don't need this anymore. I can throw it away. But all of these systems that I've used, again, come over time and they're shared in this group. So if you're not utilizing something to make your life easier, to then want to sponsor more, to then want to grow people, to then not feel overwhelmed. People ask me that all the time. How do you sponsor all these people and have all this frontline, but you're not like freaking out? It's because of systems. It's because at the end of the day, I can say, yep, I did this, 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 and this. I made sure that we were here. I checked in with her. And then you know what? After that first 70 days, my new teammate then goes into my Amy. It's already in there, but she then goes, or he goes into where I check in with them every other month or every 3 months. Because after their first 70 days, they should have pretty much all the ins and outs they need of their new business. They also have the team page. They have their workstation, and they've been through closing a party and what to do, right? So there's all kinds of things that you can do. But what I think is most important in bringing new teammates on is showing them and giving them the resources to be successful. Not necessarily planning it out for them and having everything handed to them, but giving them the resources to say, this is what you need to watch to learn how to do it. Okay? There is not a set time on how much I reach out to them in the first 70 days. It depends. Some people get certified in 3 days. Some people get certified in 2 weeks. Some people get certified in 2 months. Okay? It depends on the person. If someone is self-sufficient in what they're doing, I will check in with them. There's not a set time, right? I mean, if we've gone through their launch party, because I usually help people with their launch party, I ask to be invited to it just to make sure I can keep eyes on it if they want to do it on their own. But then there's people also who aren't certified for months, and that's when I start telling them monthly, like, this is how far you are from being certified. And that's how much I check in with them. So it really depends on the person. I have people who come in and I very rarely hear from them unless I reach out to them because they're self-sufficient in building their business. And they've also done this before. You mean like sensational start, Shonda? Is that what you're talking about? It doesn't matter what level of sensational start they earn as far as when they can fly the nest. You know, and that's the other thing I always say about leadership too. I show up daily on Simply Grace and Grit on my team page. They know I'm there. They have questions they ask me. But everything they need is on that team page, or it's in their email, or it's in their workstation. So I'm still touching base with them daily because I'm doing Tip Tuesdays, I'm doing posts, I'm sharing how I'm working, and I'm as one person and reaching 200 people at once with my team page. But as far as how much I check in with them after their 70 days, it's every 2 to 3 months. That's just me, right? Because if they need me, they'll let me know, right? And otherwise, you know, unless it's something like really good PRV or, you know, or they're on a list of one of my check-ins where they have like 2K PRV by the mid-month, then yeah, I'm going to reach out to them. But as far as just like reaching out to have that touch point with them, every 2 to 3 months. So that's the thing with leadership. We have to make it easy on ourselves. I don't want to say easy. We have to make it simple on ourselves. We have to think long lens, as Anya says. We cannot build a business by treating one person differently than what we would treat 100 people. I hope to have 100 active frontline one day. Okay, to have 100 active frontline, that means I need between 150 and 200 frontline, period. But I have to know the best way to work with them and to reach them and do for one that I can do for 100, right? And that in turn is going to give me more energy to then reach more people and to reach new people and to bring more teamies on, okay? So if y'all have any questions about that, let me know. If you cannot find the, there's new consultant launch. You can search the group. And then there's, I think this is called New Teamie Checklist is what the name of this one is. If you can't find it, let me know. Pretty sure it's in our drive as well. And then make it your own. What I do is not going to necessarily work for you to a certain extent. But putting a system in place to help you feel more organized or to be able to say, I did for her what I did for everyone else, right? And that's the thing too, is like, and don't focus so much on tweaking it to you. Let's just put that out there. Make it your own, but also know that this has been successful for people and not just me, okay? We don't need to change the game. We don't need to change the game. This path has been paved. Follow the path, okay? That got me off track. But yeah, just do what successful people do. And I'm telling you this to know that it's not just, again, happened overnight. This is something that I have looked at many SSDs on onboarding systems, and I've made it to where what I thought was most important. A lot of people don't have on their checklist that they need to announce on social media, when that's a huge thing that people should be doing, right? Yeah, Shonda, and that's the other thing, like, don't feel like you have to change the simple things. People always look at this and they're like, oh, that's your checklist? Heck yeah, it is. I'll earn annual mentor again this year like I did last year. Simple systems that work for you. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to please anyone else. It just has to work for you. You're not going to take a system from someone who isn't being successful in this business. You're not going to take a system from someone who's not being paid at title or hasn't sponsored in 3 months. You're not going to do that. That's not how this works. Right? We didn't get here, me, Anya, Katrina, Sylvia, we didn't get here by going our own course and trying to be different from everyone else. Be your own person, but keep it simple, guys. We get so caught up in trying to do like, oh, I want to be the one who like produces this and has like the best system. There is no best system. There's your best system. And you have to find what works for you. And people like to take that and be like, oh, well, I'm going to go make it my own and spend days and weeks and fixing it. No, take this checklist, start checking things off, and take a pen and add things to the bottom and cross things off and do what you need to do. That's successful and helpful to you. If you're not having success with the system, it's not so much about if it works for you as far as if it's easy or if it's something you like to do. That's not what we mean when we say find it what works for you. Find what's successful for you. If you have teamies come on and you have shooting star, 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 sensational start 3, sensational start 2, sensational start 1, sensational start 1, sensational start 2, one after the other, that's a successful system. If you have people come in and they're taking 3 months to get certified, we need to regroup. That's when we may need to change things. We need to look for a new system to use, right? So let's get uncomfortable and let's use the resources that are literally handed to us. Handed to us, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I hope to see all of you on Choose to Cruise. If you're still watching and you made it all the way through, I want you to put a C2C in the comments, Choose to Cruise, even if you won't be on tonight, because I want to know who's watching these. Super important. I hope you all have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.